All right, if you've been tuning in, obviously you know we've been talking a lot about life transitions, subtle shifts to loud disruptions to where everything feels like it's being reordered for you. Today we're going to touch on something that does a little bit of that, okay? We're going to unpack a single word here, and that word is called metanoia. Now, if you've known me for a while, I've talked about this before. It's a stunning word, though. Stunning, the absolute best, the most incredible word ever. Everyone who's seen it has said so. And today we're going to unpack it. So, okay, we're going to break down this word, metanoia, what it actually means, where it comes from, and why it so often feels like a crisis when it starts. And for concrete, real-world ways, it radically changes a person's daily life when it takes hold. So, deconstructing metanoia. To really understand metanoia, we have to look at where it came from. The word actually is from ancient Greek. It's built from two distinct roots, meta, which is Greek for beyond or a change across, and noia, which comes from, I believe, nous, meaning mind or heart or the core seat of human consciousness. Now, when you translate it, literally, it means a transformation of the mind or going beyond the current mind. In classical literature, though, and early theology, it was often translated into English as repentance, but that has a pretty moralistic tone implying guilt, shame, and other self-punishment. And we're not going there today. That's not what this is all about. We're not touching on that spirituality aspect of it. Now, original metanoia wasn't about shame at all, though. It was about something other than beating yourself up for being wrong. It was about a sudden, profound expanding of vision. Okay? That actually sounds like a lot of other events in my life, but anyway, it's the moment the lens through which you view reality completely shifts, and once you see the world through this new lens, you can't go back to seeing it the old way. So let's get further into it here, and I'm gonna give you an example here. Let's think of it like this. Okay, changing your mind is deciding you want tea instead of coffee today. Well, metanoia is realizing you've been living your entire life based on a set of rules you never actually agreed to, and deciding to completely rewrite the blueprint of who you are. So instead of having coffee or tea, you're having a fucking Pepsi. It's an existential pivot. It's the death of an old way of being and the quiet, often uncomfortable birth of a new one. The catalyst, is why metanoia hurts, though. The catalyst that sets it off is what makes it hurt. And here's the truth about it. Most self-help books are going to leave this out, but it rarely happens when things are going smoothly, okay? It's going to be when things are falling the fuck apart. So here we are. I am man enough to admit, like, the way I was doing shit obviously wasn't really working real well. I lost my career, I lost my family, I lost my kid, lost relationship after relationship, bounced around the country for a little bit, all that kind of shit. Lost a bunch of friends, gained some new friends, whatever. But we're humans. We as humans are creatures of habit. We like predictability. I know I do. We stick to familiar mental models because they keep us feeling safe. So metanoia almost always arrives uninvited. It's triggered by disruption, severe loss, or whatever. Suddenly your old coping mechanisms and ego defense strategies and definitions of success you relied on for however fucking long just stop fucking working. You hit a wall where staying the same becomes more painful than the uncertainty of changing. That's where we've been. So that little sign in places that says you are here and it has the little fucking red thing? Yeah, that's where we're at right now. When metanoia begins, though, it can feel pretty fucking disorienting, okay? Groundless, almost. Can feel like you're fucking drunk or maybe blacked out or something. Which, I mean, in a lot of cases I probably was when it first started hitting. I don't know, you become detached from things that you used to feel attached to, unmotivated by old goals, uncertain about identity. But that collapse isn't a failure. It's structural clearing, okay? You're not going to pour a new foundation without stripping the old studs. But, okay, let's jump into the real life signals of metanoia. What does it look like in the real world? Well, how are you going to recognize it when it's happening to you or someone you love? It radiates outward in a couple distinct, undeniable ways. There's going to be a radical shift in currency and core values, okay? I'm struggling with this one. You know, I will admit I spent a good portion of my life with this bullshit, kumbaya, everybody can be best friends type shit, and that's just not where we're at anymore. I don't really want to touch on that any deeper because as people, obviously, we hold some things in common, okay? We all have the human experience, and that's just where I'm going to leave that. But things like, you know, your status, title, external validation, winning arguments, or keeping up appearances, they lose their magnetism. You don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, call me whatever you want. Like, I'm just some fat ginger with a peg leg who has Wi-Fi and a debit card and free will. But in practice, this is going to look like someone walking away from a lucrative career path, or maybe whatever, a career they've known forever, because their internal values and currency shifted from accumulation to contribution. Looks like realizing that peace of mind is worth far more than being right or being praised by people you don't even give a shit about, okay? Yeah, if you're listening to this and you're wondering if that's you, it probably is. If the shoe fits, motherfucker, okay? Like, you know, I don't know. So many people that I didn't value just disappeared, and that's okay. Like, bye. Because I'm right here, and I'm pretty fucking awesome. And you know what? I meet new people every day. So, like, there are people waiting to take your spot. So have fun, do you, and I don't know, I guess if we're meant to see each other again, we will. But in practice, that's what it's going to look like. Now, you're going to quietly prune and deepen relationships, okay? You're going to get rid of people you just didn't give a shit about, okay? I'm not going to give examples here, but yeah, I can think of some people that I didn't give a shit about. And, you know, it's kind of funny because, like, as people start to walk away, other people come in and, like, I don't know, they decide that because I'm enemies with that other person, apparently, that they're my enemy too. But, bro, I swear I didn't know you existed, okay? Like, I haven't heard you since, like, fucking chocolate starfish in the hot dog flavored water came out, and I don't even remember when that was. But your external community is going to inevitably change too. I'm seeing that more and more, and that's fine. You start finding small talk exhausting. That's another big one. You know, you naturally drift away from dynamic, superficial, or transactional relationships where you had to perform a character to belong. At the same time, your capacity for empathy skyrockets. Well, I haven't had that one, so to speak, but I've had some breakthroughs in empathy, thanks to TJ there. Freed speak. You know, Wakanda forever, whatever, bud. Anyway, Um, you give unprompted forgiveness to people who hurt you years ago. Yeah, yeah, I've been there. Um, One example I can pinpoint is my mom. Okay, like I loved my mom. We loved each other. She was my biggest cheerleader in a lot of respects, but she was also my arch nemesis in a lot of respects. Um, but you know what? Like my mom did the best with what she had, especially after my dad died, and I've got to give her that. Not because like what they did was okay, not because what she did was okay, but because holding on to that poison no longer serves the person I'm becoming. Like, it's not going to do me any good to hold resentment for shit that happened when I was fucking 7 or 8, you know? Um, you move from defense to surrender, okay? Third here is that unmistakable posture shift from defense to surrender. I don't care. I just don't. I'm not going to defend myself or my reasonings to you. Um, I don't have any reason to. And if you feel I need to, then bye. Bye. Um, that's just how it is. Before metanoia, most of us spend our lives in self-preservation mode. I know I did. And every time I can say that self-preservation mode lessened extremely every time. We justify our mistakes, we defend our ego, we blame external circumstances, we try to micromanage every outcome, but afterwards it's quiet humility, okay? Like a person experiencing metanoia stops pointing fingers and starts taking radical accountability for their life. Yeah, my life is a mess because I fucked it up. It's the truth I needed. Am I a bad guy? No. People make mistakes. I'm a good guy. I'm an awesome guy. I'm the greatest fucking guy. The best guy ever. The best guy anybody had ever seen. Everybody who had seen me said so. Sorry, I've got that like little Donald Trump like thing going on in my head today for some reason. So I'm giggling at that, even if you're not. Um, I'm not asking why is this happening to me. Instead, I'm kind of looking at it as what should I have learned, and the answer is always the same. Um, no matter where I'm at, I've still got me, um, and frankly, nobody else is gonna give a shit if I don't have me. So I might as well have fun with me. Now you're gonna begin to micro realign daily actions. Okay. It's going to demand practical expression, okay? Things like going to church or changing coffee to tea or drinking a Pepsi or, maybe you don't want to goon for 12 hours. Maybe it's only 5 hours today. You see it in the micro choices, how you speak to a stranger at the grocery store, how long you sit in silence in the morning, how you listen to a new person you met and have been having a conversation with, and how you speak to them. I know I'm trying to be more understanding with people, and less out of a place of personal gratification, and more in a sense of I truly want them to feel heard. But your grand internal revelation becomes a quiet, steady, daily practice. Living through this transition is where I'm at right now. If you're listening to this and feeling a strange tightness in your chest, if you feel like the ground beneath your feet is moving, or that the life you built 5 years ago no longer fits the person you are today, that's okay. I'm there too. I get it. I spent my life building a life that meant diddly shit. Like, and I didn't really want, like, because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Um, you're not losing your mind though. We're not. We're not. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be good, gang. All right. You're not failing. You just might be in the middle of metanoia. Okay. This transition period is always the hardest part because you're living in the space between who you were and who you're becoming. The old identity's gone. Bye. See ya. New one hasn't fully solidified yet. That's okay. Don't rush to fill a space with noise or hurry to rebuild too quickly. Give yourself permission to sit in the quiet. Trust the discomfort you get when you're feeling isn't a sign of destruction. Um, it's the friction of growth, you know? That's where we're at. And that's our deep dive for today on the word metanoia. I went a little over on this today. If this episode spoke to you, though, write this word down, jot it down, take a screenshot, share it with a friend, talk about it. You know, I find when I talk about something right after hearing it, it enables me to reflect on it a little better. Like when I meet someone and say their name for the first time, use the word in a sentence, you know? But most of all, just remember you're not alone here. Right now we're at about 16 minutes and 40 seconds, somewhere around there. And all I want to say is, you know, I'm still interested in everybody's human experiences. Message me, email me, do something, comment, fucking tell me I'm a piece of shit. Like, do something. Fucking, I don't even care anymore. Like, this is more for me, but like, I don't care. Like, let's have a conversation, people. Like, I want to hear about your metanoia. I want to hear about how the life you spent fucking 17 years building was the life you didn't want. And then now you're figuring it out from the get-go. I want to hear how, like, you fell in love with some fucking random dog mom and fucking realized that, like, you were both really shitty people, so it was doomed from the start. But this is metanoia. This is the pivot point of life. Yeah, pivot point. Yeah, oh yeah. Let's talk about that. Anyway, email me. freedafterdark@gmail.com. Leave a comment. Whatever. Let's talk about it. And hopefully soon we have some more Freed Speak. New episode next week, maybe Monday. Hopefully we're going to try to keep on track. If not, I guess we'll see you when we see you. All right, love you guys. Love everyone around you and love yourselves. Fuck everybody else.